This episode of Ask Your Dad is brought to you by Cameron Jensen at First Colony Mortgage. So Cameron was the mortgage lender when we bought our house about a year and a half ago that we worked with. He was awesome. He held our hand through the whole thing. I texted him probably 2,000 times in 2 weeks, so I had so many questions. I didn't know what we were doing. It was our first house, and he was awesome and super patient. Everything was really smooth. And then about 3-4 months ago, we actually refinanced our house, and I went through Cameron to get a lower rate. And again, I was stunned at how easy it was. He handled everything and kind of walked me through the process, and we were able to save a couple $100 on our mortgage. And he handled everything. So if you are looking to buy a house, or if you want to refinance with the rates are low, go ahead and give him a call. His phone number is 801-471-4101. So that's anyone that's here in Utah. He can help you out. And his NMLS number, his license number is 1557102. And that way, you got to know he's legit. So his number again is 801-471-4101. So give Cameron a call. Let him know that you heard the ad on Ask Your Dad, and he will take care of you. He's a great guy.
Ask Your Dad.
Welcome to Ask Your Dad. This is episode 6. I'm your host, Nate Flake, and we got a couple of awesome guests today. We actually have our first out-of-state, our first fly-in guest. So I'll let you introduce yourself first, since you won that right, buddy.
Thank you. Thanks for the Ask Your Dad private jet flying in, picking me up.
And the marketing team, Trey, you okay?
Marketing team, red carpet, super classy.
That's great.
But yeah, from Arizona, Dayton, Jones.
How many kids you got?
I got plenty, but what was up with that intro, dude? I didn't like any fanfare, no like.
I should have introed you first.
Yeah, I want not like a boxer into the ring, dude.
That
but
bio,
come on.
bio you sent me was 2-3 pages long.
Well, yeah, dude, you didn't give me any parameters on it. That was all the highlights.
You just followed that.
Yeah, no, it's from the intro to my book, so it's
12-point font.
Yeah,
Times New
12
Roman.
point single space. No,
double space.
I'm me and my wife Allie been married going on 9 years. We've got 3 girls. Oldest will be 7 in May. Her name is Winsley, and then my second is Capri. She's 4, and then our youngest is Sunny, and she is 4 months.
Just a nice spread.
Dope.
Yep.
3 ladies.
3 ladies here to just teach Jordan a thing or two about girls, the girl dad life.
Jordan,
Hopefully.
yeah. Well, this is the whole point of this episode, is to help Jordan understand what girls are all about.
Yeah, I'm in it too deep now.
You're
Way
lost.
too deep. Yeah.
You just have the one?
Yep. So Jordan Steffen, I've got one boy. He's 8 years old, and then a girl on the way that should be here in about a month and a half.
Yeah, my Coco's my oldest, so 8, right? So her and a couple of my friends' daughters are fighting for Diesel's love.
So is Winnie. She
Every
remembers.
time
She's
they
met
see
him once.
him, they're
At the wedding.
my
Yeah,
boyfriend or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's right. They were.
Diesel's playing them all like fiddle, so
He's
Oh, yeah.
he's a Steffen.
Yeah.
I'll let that
It's
slide
true.
until they become teenagers. Until he's got.
I will say
years.
nothing's more humbling than having girls, and if anyone in this world needs that, it's
your
Jordan.
boy.
It's Jordan
Oh, yeah.
Steffen.
No,
A
it's
girl on
true.
the way.
Yeah, no, I've been married for 9 years. 5 to one person. No, 8. 5 to one person, 3 to the next.
You
So
instantly messed up the numbers.
It's our first edit.
Yeah, the girl, it'll be a change for sure. Especially with Diesel, dude. He's a man's man.
yeah, totally.
Diesel's total bro, total sports guy.
Yep.
It'll be fun for you.
Yeah, no, my wife and I, we did IVF for our little girl, so we actually had all the genetic testing done and figured out. You
gotta
know,
pick the gender and all that.
Gotta pick the gender. So I think we ended up with 4 embryos. 3 of them were boys. 1 of them was a girl. And so my wife Dominique really wanted this girl, and so I was like, hey, that's fine. If you want the girl, great. I'm just not gonna do any rules. There's no rules.
You're going
for
crazy.
13 years.
I remember it was like a big debate. I remember we went camping with you guys. Well,
Yeah.
camping we
it's a
we
huge
left
debate.
before
don't
we had
camp.
to sleep. Relax. We went and had s'mores. Okay.
Yeah.
And I didn't change out of my indoor shoes, but no, I'm just kidding. So, but I remember we had that. It was like you guys were like still debating, like, do we have a boy or a girl? Because you got to pick. But yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, no, it'll be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Doesn't feel real yet, but I'm sure it will be
Yeah,
very, very soon.
yeah. I don't know any different. Dating probably the same. So,
Same. Like I
But
grew
I'm
up
also-
with brothers,
yeah.
but it's still
I'm not really a manly man. You're pretty manly. I remember
pretty
I came to your
manly.
house one time and you were like wielding a sword out of like a piece of
Yeah,
rebar or
exactly.
something. What were you
dude, people are gonna think I'm like a Dragons and Dungeons freaking weirdo, dude.
Dragons and Dungeons.
There's a
Dungeons and
purpose.
Dragons, bro.
Dungeons and Dragons. See that fact
No,
that
you
I
were
didn't know.
doing something. You were doing something out of a piece.
was
You were
like-
making a knife out of a piece of rebar.
He was
with
out
like
in this
a-
4-wheeler.
I
with
was
the shirt
acting.
off with
I
a
was
gun.
acting busy. Yeah, I was
No,
on the
you-
4-wheeler with the American flag on the back, just jumping.
Yeah, you were doing something too manly. I couldn't believe it.
No,
It was
I
good,
was.
though. The finished product was cool.
Yeah, I don't live in the right neighborhood for that. It's like, it's all snowbirds. They all hate us. It's like they're asleep at 7.
To make too much
I've
noise.
got girls that scream 24/7. So they're,
Ugh.
yeah. But I mean, they're. I was expecting more with the girls. That it would be like all, girl stuff. They wouldn't want to even be, part of anything that I like or that my brothers like. But it's pretty surprising. They're more like apt to do that kind of stuff than just
Your
girly
siblings.
stuff. Yeah,
And then most of your brothers.
yeah, they're definitely.
That's how, Coco's, she's kind of like the tomboy or whatever, which is good, but she like wants to go camping and wants to do all this.
Yeah, I'm wondering if
Stereotypical
that
guy stuff,
changes
right?
as they get older too. I bet as they're around, like
Yeah.
their friends, they have more influence with their friends. They want to be
Oh,
more like
100%.
them.
It's kind of sad you think about it, like your friends basically just like deter you away from what you really want to do.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
You have no shot.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I wanted to like play the fiddle, but like I was getting roasted in first grade,
Well, you should have, but
Just an example. I
The
actually
fiddle?
want to play the fiddle.
Yeah, Nate,
I was
Nate,
using my-
Nate
my-
actually
my-
wanted to
my-
start like a
my-
hacky sack group
A
in
hacky
high
sack.
school, and all of us played baseball. So he's like, I guess I'll join the team just because all my friends are on.
I
here."
know I didn't want to play.
he was doing the tech decks.
How these are tech.
Oh,
We're
they'll come
I
back.
remember I did create a club. It's probably still there. Footbag.org back in the day when we were in junior high. Yeah, footbag.org. It's probably a porn site now. don't you think? But we, that was like the thing when, like in junior high. And I created like a club, like
Oh yeah,
some stupid name.
Founder, CEO.
Yeah. It was like you create a club, you had to have at least 3 people. So I signed up like Jonathan Wright and Tim. And like put our name. We were like the Mountain Ridge Hacky Shack Huskies or something stupid. It's probably still there, honestly. I'm gonna go check it out after this. Get on that LTE and check it out. We just got back from New York this weekend. We were there for someone's birthday. So this is kind of like one of the sections of the podcast this week was like traveling with kids.
yeah.
And we flew in last night, and that like you flew in this morning, right? And Jordan, you were in Denver last night too. But
Yep.
so we've all been in the airport. You guys without kids
So peaceful.
in the last 24 hours. But it's so funny, man. We were flying back last night from New York, and we like when we landed. Our girls are like old enough now where they've been on enough planes where they like know kind of like how it happens. They're not like scared of like takeoff or like landing. But like Coco, for some reason, didn't have her like every time I get in, and I'm not like a skinny dude, but I always have the seatbelt at full stretch. Right.
Yep.
I'm not tightening that thing. The thing's around my knees.
It's gonna save your life. dude,
I've
when
never
you
cared.
crash.
I want comfort over safety.
Oh, for sure.
So that thing's around my ankles, basically. And so Coco had hers like super loose, and we're on the very back row. Like, made sure we're on the very back row. It's all 4. So I'm on. It's like a 3 and 3. So I'm on the one side, and all 3 of them are on the other. Sloan and the 2 girls. Coco's against the far window, and I look over. Started laughing so hard. Sloan lost it. I look over, and as soon as we land, Coco, full blown, just like body slammed
Oh.
the seat in front of her. But it didn't like hurt her. She just like slammed her entire body
Oh.
against
Just a
the seat in
shock
front of
look.
her, and then just slammed back. And I slowly like looked over right as it happened and looked at me, and I was dying because she didn't get hurt or anything. It just looked like a cartoon.
She had
just
the shock
shooting.
cry.
Yeah.
Just shooting into the seat in front of her. I was
Oh,
dead.
man.
That was too funny. And then I mean the trip, like, and we'll talk about the travel stuff later, but it was just funny. Like that part was comical. And then there's a couple other parts, like when we were in a pharmacy, and you know there's like dudes that walk around collecting cans.
Oh yeah.
But they do it like in the pharmacies, like inside
They
stores
make
too.
great money doing that.
Well, they make bank.
Yeah.
So this dude's carrying these massive garbage sacks full of cans, and
In the store?
in the store, like he's like going into the garbage cans in the store. So my girls were like picking out candy or something for the flight back, and he was walking past us, and he totally just like slammed the bag, walked past me without trying to go around me, slammed the bag into like my legs or whatever, and I wasn't gonna say anything. I just like let him go by me. Look down, I'm good.
Zero confrontation.
Zero confrontation, especially when you're with. I mean, no, never. I guess
Yeah, you're never.
I'm not like some tough guy. I'm not gonna like try to fight somebody. So, but anyways, he hits my legs, and then the next dude was this big, burly guy. He tries to walk through that guy, and the guy just like starts yelling at him. You know, he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like, "You gonna stay here? You can't even say excuse me," you know. And this guy turns around. It's a like older guy that's carrying the cans. He's like, "What'd you say to me?" He's like, "You heard what I said to you." He's like, "You're gonna sit here and not say excuse me, and then you're gonna run into this nice family right here with your cans. You're hitting cans everywhere." And he's bringing me into it. No.
He just
You're
walked
giving
down
him
the
the
next
thumbs
aisle.
up.
I'm just
Everything's
moonwalking
fine.
backwards out of this
Hey,
situation.
where's the ice cream at?
Yeah. He's like, "You're gonna hit this nice family." He's like, "What did you say?" He's like, "You totally hit this nice family right here," and you're just like in their way, you know. And he's like, "We got a problem." He's like, "I'm about to make your day a problem." Like getting so pissed at this guy. And I'm
Me
like,
and this guy over here are going to
dude,
really make it a
meanwhile, I'm like
problem.
Coco North, shuffle, you know. I'm like doing the most. Oh, it was too good. I'm like, we got to get out of here. It was just too funny.
Don't buy your things. Just put it in your pocket. Let's go.
Yeah, just full sprint. I just acted like I didn't see anything, even though they're talking about me. It was too awkward. I'm like, bro, I'm not worth it. I promise. I don't care. Like,
I can't get past that they're in the store. Was that your first time you in New
That
York?
was the second. So I've been like, it's probably my third time in New York. First time with the kids though. Kids' first time ever in there. But yeah, it was just funny. Like the first, I went there that morning to get like Red Bull or something. It was like something super urgent.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kids were getting ready. Like really needed a Red Bull. I went down there.
They were crying and you needed to like,
Yeah,
just bad timing on their part.
yeah, and so, but I saw someone different guy. Oh, I forgot about this story too. Different guy down there doing the cans. But then when I'm down there, same pharmacy, Dwayne Reed. My middle name is Dwayne, so I kind of like going into those. You know, I feel like someone else actually likes that name too. Spelled the same, Duane. And so the first time I was this same day, that morning I was in there, different guy with cans, but another guy, I was walking down the aisles and the security guard starts yelling at this dude. And there's another guy that's in full 1,000 leather, like this dude is just leather camo. No sense to what he was wearing. It was just like leather straps and camo all over the place. Starts running down the aisle where I'm at. And I'm like trying to get out of his way. But this dude's like robbing the place. He's shoplifting.
Well, leather's an interesting choice.
He had a lot of leather
Oh, the
buckles.
camo helps out.
A lot of
Yeah, for
camo,
sure.
a lot of leather buckles, a lot of non-functional buckles. So, but
Wow.
anyways, I was at the end of the aisle just looking like a clown. I wish I could have replayed it like off the security.
You
tape.
didn't know which way to go. until
I
you
was
were
like
doing
trying to
the-
dodge him, and it probably looked to him like I was trying to like stop him. You know. And he looks up at me. I'm like, yo. I just put my hands up and just back up against the thing. I'm like, I'm not trying to get stabbed.
You were also in
I
your
just want a
buckles
Red
and
Bull.
your
Yeah.
your black leather.
Yeah, I just like he saw my leather. I saw
was
his
super
leather.
awkward for a
It was
second.
Super awkward. But anyways, that's funny. I forgot that even happened. I was too
Wow.
stunned about like that part was scary, but that later.
That was
on,
the same
guy
store?
Same store.
How many cans are in
Yeah.
that store?
Too many cans.
Sheesh.
Enough cans to go back the second day. Different guy though. Maybe he didn't get his. Maybe that's why he was in a bad mood because
Their
he
can
went.
limit per.
He went later that night and there wasn't any cans left. You know, so maybe that's why the second guy was mad.
Yeah,
And he
100,
wasn't.
100 can limit a
Yeah.
day.
Per
Catch and release.
Per
Yeah.
Dwayne Reed. So, anyways, what were you doing in Denver? Working?
Yeah, working. Had to meet with the city.
Working with the quotes
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah. I think I was at my hotel for a total of 5
The
hours.
city. You honestly had to meet with the city. I had a meeting with the mayor.
Yeah, basically.
You got the
really,
key?
really fun stuff.
The key to the city.
Yeah, that was actually what I was there for, was a presentation. Key to the city.
Man.
Okay, let's get into the first segment. So we're talking about traveling, right? So we're gonna get into this. So what are your guys' opinions? Best travel tips?
Man.
Noise canceling headphones for the kids, easily.
Yeah,
Gotta get
I mean,
'em.
We do like the coloring books and all that stuff, but I feel like if are you talking about like mostly flying, right?
No, and either or. Like there, a lot of people said a lot of stuff about traveling.
My biggest nemesis, honestly, when we're traveling, is the stroller.
Oh, when you get rid of the stroller,
We
it
were
is a
close to out of the stroller
changer.
range, but we're right back in the thick of it now.
You had the stroller like on its
Yeah,
way out,
we-
and then you just drug it right back.
Allie's gonna be so mad that I say this, but
Everyone always
we
gets so
pay
stunned otherwise.
$5,000 for these strollers, and they can't even put itself together or open up smoothly, or
Yeah, that's
be-
the origami one.
be
Dude.
not as wide as 8 people. Like it's like the stroller hasn't changed in like 80 years. It's the same as when I was little.
Yeah, no,
But-
I was actually at the stroller store the other day, and they had this little test course. It's almost like, like if you go to
There's
like
a test course?
like a Land Rover
Oh, how
dealership,
money is
you
that?
got like the rocks
Oh yeah,
and
yeah. I was
stuff.
at the Land Rover dealership. The
Yeah,
other day.
dude, that's why I'm at the Walmart dealership, dude. What the? What are you
That's
talking
why you go
about,
to the
dude?
Land Rover dealership.
The Audi dealership for
I'm saying like at the Land Rover dealership, they've got like the rocks and stuff you can go over in the car.
I didn't know that.
At the baby cubby.
Is that something that they charge for? Can I go to that? Oh my
This
god!
is
just
real?
do it for free. Yeah, it's a great time.
Hey, now we have something we can do tomorrow.
Yeah, man. If I can't get a real one, I can at least get a Range Rover stroller.
You can go out in the store. It's the
Still have
stroller
to
store.
finance it.
And
What stroller store is this? Baby Cubby?
Baby cubby. So they've got this little track. It's got rocks and then sand and all this grass. And so I grabbed them all. I was like going through, just
You're
like
full
shaking 'em.
sprinting through those things.
Yeah, no.
Dominic, time me.
Oh yeah, time me.
He's still got that 4.4.
I'm pretty sure everybody in the store was like, "Who the hell is this guy?"
He's used every stroller.
That's
Yeah,
unreal.
the shocks on this one were not as good as the other one.
So what?
No,
What
it's all about
did you
the
guys
city
get one?
select.
No, we're waiting for the I don't even know what it's called, Vista V2 or something. I guess it just dropped on Nordstrom.
Oh, never heard of
Yeah.
it. I'm all about the city select.
That's
it
what
was
we
a
have.
life changer. We had it in Moscow.
No,
We freaking drugged it. Yeah, that thing's been through literally Siberian winter.
maybe my
Thing is a baller.
expectations are just too high.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, when
So,
you can
like-
get rid of the stroller, it's unreal. Coming
yeah.
back to the headphone thing, though, also that's another kind of like milestone.
Yep.
Like most people judge their kids,
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, they started eating solids, they started walking. I'm like, this is when they put headphones on and they could keep them on,
Yep.
because then
Totally
it's like
true.
nothing else matters. I remember we went, I can't remember we went on a cruise or something. The girls were like 4 and 3 or 5 and 4 or something. But I went to one of those Best Buy vending machines in the airport.
Oh yeah.
Bought them some kid headphones. Oh, it was a game changer.
They're just out.
The over-the-ear headphones, yeah, they were just didn't talk to them for a couple days. It was unreal.
You actually left them at home and then went on the cruise.
That's funny. A lot of the comments here actually do say leave the kids at home. I'm like, hey, what are your best travel tips to kids? Long lock lawyer, leave them with your parents. Who else said that? Kellen Levitt, just don't travel. Yeah, Kelly Wilkinson, leave them at home with a babysitter. Josh Crope, don't, except Disney every 3. I don't know what that means, every 3 years.
Oh, every 3 years. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Grandma babysits otherwise.
That's the worst place in the world. I'm gonna get slammed for that, but
Yeah, and I'm going to have to edit that
edit
out.
it
bro.
out for sure. But I'm gonna get people like
Those are
lurking outside my
those
house.
are fighting words in this podcast. Dude. Yeah, I don't know. There's some tips. I mean, it all depends. Stroller, when you get rid of the stroller, speaking of Disneyland, when you get rid of the stroller in Disneyland, it's a
Yeah,
game
that's
changer.
what- yeah.
Oh,
what
Oh
I've been
man, just
hearing.
avoiding the
it's a
stores
whole
at
new world,
Disneyland.
dude.
Yeah,
That's
It's
an
a whole
Aladdin,
new
One day.
Aladdin reference.
one day.
I
Aladdin.
feel like every
You're
time I go to
anti-Disney.
Disneyland, I got like
I'm not
15.
Don't say that, dude. Tie my name to anti-Disney. Come on. I still got little kids at home. They're gonna like get.
They're gonna listen
That's
to
the
this.
next one. Bullying and stuff. They're gonna get bullied.
What
No,
were you saying, Jordan?
Every time I leave Disneyland, I've got 15 bruises on my shins from strollers running into me. It's unbelievable.
Dude, I remember, I think I wrote like a blog just about the first 5 minutes of Disneyland when everyone's like lined up to
and
get
just
in.
running in.
So then you get into like the first ropes or whatever. Yeah, and then people are running in, and you have grown adults full sprinting.
Yeah.
People that have never exercised in the last 20 years.
Strollers on 2 wheels, just popping wheelies, just running
dude.
through.
Yeah, you're full sprinting, and then you have the city select. You're trying to navigate, and then people cut you off, and then you trip them. They turn around and just start yelling at you, and you're like, "No, dude, you signed up for this.
And then
we
you
all
have
signed up for this together."
Then you have the railroad tracks that you have to like navigate and not get. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Not a
brutal.
fan.
Yeah, when we were in Moscow, we had to carry that stupid thing up and down, like a lot of the subway stairs
Oh, yeah.
that didn't have tracks or whatever. We got so good at carrying it, and
And the 8 feet of snow.
8 feet of snow uphill
You got
both
the mud
ways.
tires on
Yeah.
the city select.
Yeah, but like
Should have hit the course before.
yeah.
that course, I should have known. Oh, if only that course existed. That's actually pretty funny. Couple more comments. Taylor Murphy, iPads are a gift from above. Yeah, when your kids can navigate the iPad, you're hooked.
Yeah.
They have no idea how good they have it too.
Oh, I mean, the kids now, it's like they're 2 years old and they're just like flipping through apps, closing them out.
Yeah.
I can't even believe it.
Yeah, both my kids do that. I mean, they were doing that. Nora was doing it as like a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
You see kids that are super young doing it
I'm trying
now.
to think what we did. I feel like we had like a Ziploc bag of Legos.
Yeah.
And so to bring, and then like, but you never had enough to build actually anything. So
Yeah.
you had like half a thing.
Yeah, or like a game that was missing 20 pieces. You know, I didn't fly on an airplane until I was like 16, 17. First time flying an airplane.
No
So you
way.
brought your Legos.
Yeah. That was the rich side of it. So I was bringing my rocks in a bag, dude.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had different color
Your
rocks.
spray
at five.
painted rocks.
No, I
Stack
remember
them up.
Just kept
driving. We
holding
drive to California. I mean, we go to vacation a lot, but it would be like drive to California
That's my memories.
in 2
traveling.
cars. Every seat
Oh,
was
driving was
removed
the
out
Oh
of
yeah,
the car.
we had the bed, and the
0
back,
seats in the car.
and you're just getting slammed on either side.
Some
every
TV
right turn.
strapped on with a bungee cord
Yeah.
that had some ungodly amount of cords going into the aux that would like short circuit every couple miles.
And the quality was like 240p.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
got the VHS that goes in. You had like 3 VHSs to choose from because no one would ever grab new movies.
Oh, you have to rewind it. My kids don't even know what a DVD is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They saw a CD or a DVD and they were like, "Oh, can we listen to this in the car?" And
They just were too
yeah, like no.
Yeah, VHS.
So
or
you
thick cords
explain
and-
it to them, and
yeah.
it's like they won't know what that is, or an MP3 player, or like any of that stuff.
My aunt chick had a van, one of those Astro vans that were all like pimped out with the curtains and like super baller.
Yeah.
So anytime we'd go to California with them, it was always a fight of like who can ride in their car, and it had the TV already in
In
it,
the
and the
headrest.
bed was the entire play. You could fit 17 people in there, and we did, and we'd
Yeah.
just drive and back.
Yeah, for
to
some reason
zero
the
rules.
seatbelt rule just went out the window when we traveled,
Oh, yeah.
which
Oh yeah.
was fine. I'm
Well,
fine
yeah,
with
and
it.
then you get there, and I'm like, what did we? I don't remember like what we did when we get there though. Like we just didn't have seats.
Yeah, I think we still just rolled around.
We just sat on the ground once you get to California.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we
Yeah,
had the
that's
back
not at all.
bench still in there. I feel like I think there was like the 3 rows,
Yeah,
and so we just all crammed on one.
the youngest gets a
Bench.
seatbelt.
Oh yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah, the only one the parents care about.
It's
at
like
that
the
point.
one with still some potential.
The
left.
birth is still
Yeah.
fresh in the mind of the parents.
Still could bring some
Yeah.
some positive to the family name.
Yeah, bring some.
Yeah, road trips. Those were the best as a
back-
kid.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. You got to do those with your kids.
Yeah, we do. We don't do them now because the girls get car sick.
Yeah.
So we which sucks because now we have to fly everywhere. We drive anywhere past an hour.
I like
They start
road trips
throwing
because I
up.
feel like you can time that good. Like
Yeah.
if you know, like you can leave at the right time where they just sleep for most of it, or you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what someone said. Sachi, Thornley, any road trip that can be done under 9 hours should be done at night. The
Yeah.
kids while the kids sleep the whole time.
Yeah. See,
My brother does that too. They'll leave late.
It doesn't matter what time of day it is. Diesel will not sleep in the car.
Oh, so you're right.
Period. Yeah. And he's like, you know how most kids like to have an iPad and they'll fall asleep or, doing
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
No, if there's anything going on the screen, he'll stay awake
That's
until
how
7 in the
Coco is,
morning. Yep.
We did like a 10-hour flight a few months ago, and Coco watched 10 hours worth of movies
She's just
because
wrecked.
Delta had too many movies on their thing.
Oh man.
Got to hit up Coco, Wally.
That's how I am, dude.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
the same way.
Yeah, I can't fall asleep while
There's
a movie's
some
on.
beast movies going on. I could have fallen asleep in that movie today.
Oh,
We
dude.
saw we went and saw
Oh.
1917 today.
Oh, yeah.
Total change of subject, but
Dude,
did you see it?
Great movie.
you will feel like you're in the military.
We're the only one in the
Like, you
theater.
just-
First of all,
yeah.
You what?
Just us two.
yeah. I mean,
yeah.
it was 10 o'clock in the morning, but still. So, but I didn't like the. I'll tell you what I didn't like, and if you haven't seen 1917, you covered your ears because I'm about to spoil it. But I didn't like how the whole movie is like urgent, or he has to get this message or whatever, and then he gets to the actual people he's getting to, and he sits there and listens to a whole Frodo Baggins song. The guy sings a 30-minute song, and he's sitting there with this urgent message, and he just
Yeah.
posts up on the tree.
Never had more anxiety in my life.
Never had a longer song in my
I'm
life
like,
too.
oh, it was
Well,
5 minute song.
That was-
300 people died.
That was
during
Sam
the
Hunt,
song.
right? He's the guy that I
Yeah.
think he directed it or produced it, or I think he wrote the story. It came from his grandpa or whatever.
Yeah, I don't feel bad still.
Yeah. So he had to get his 5 minutes in though.
Oh, that was
His-
the guy singing?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That the actual actor singing was the guy that produced the movie.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Should have said that. Should have had some.
Well,
screen
still, they should have
text.
said, like,
Still a
time
little
out.
subtitle.
There's no
But
people
still the
flying
writer.
here now.
This is the producer getting his 5 minutes in. But and then like because he sat there and waited, I look over. I'm like, what is he doing?
Dude, we're
Like,
freaking out.
100 people died.
he literally almost died. Yeah, and then he could have ran in, and then he could have stopped the whole thing, and he just posted up. Then everyone after like, hey, so where are you from? What'd you major in?
Yeah, they like
You
just
know?
like he was
They
like,
start asking him what college
you
go
new
to?
here? You go to school here now?
Yeah.
No, the whole movie, my jaw's just clenched tight because it's just so
I was just saying that
stressful.
butt was clenched tight. the whole
No.
movie.
Oh, it really is.
Yeah,
I
well,
couldn't believe it.
yeah.
That's why I heard Uncut Gems is like the same way. You're just clenched the whole movie. You can't fathom. But yeah, that was the only part I was like, oh, that part ruined it.
No, yeah.
And that song was just straight to that was
Yeah,
great
that's what we were
depression.
talking about. It's like that would be the last song you want to hear before you go into a war.
Yeah.
It's like
Just trying to get everyone amped, and they're just playing.
poor wayfaring man.
They
Yeah.
should
And
have
you're-
done like a quick spot with DMX just to get everybody pumped.
Yeah,
X gonna give it to you. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, no, that'll get them pumped
It would have
up.
been time appropriate.
Yeah, that movie, that whole
song
movie,
didn't come out yet.
it was good. I just felt exhausted.
Yeah.
The whole movie, I felt like because it's one continuous shot.
Yep.
It was shot and filmed like it was. There's some scenes that are pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool how they did it, but like I felt like I walked the whole distance with the guy.
Yeah, dude, we were.
Because you do.
We
It's
came
one
out like
continuous shot.
I
Your
couldn't even
legs are
carry my
tired.
popcorn
Oh,
bag
bro,
out.
I was
We were
dripping
just-
in
yeah.
sweat. Yeah, I had
to change my
I looked
shirt.
at my phone. I looked at my watch and I had done 16,000 steps. Couldn't believe it.
Still didn't save
It's a
anyone.
day at Disneyland.
Oh, day at Disneyland. That'll get your steps in. Okay, couple more good travel responses here. Jeremy Cooper, 87. We went to Rome and offered unlimited gelato to deal with sore feet from walking. Oh, bribery is the name of the game in travel.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right?
It's the name of the game for
ultimate
everything.
briber.
But
Yeah.
yeah, travel for sure.
Oh, bribery is the only thing that works. Yeah, that's what I mean. Even like in New York, just barely, we did that, and anytime we'd go to places we'd want to eat, it would always be, "Hey, we're gonna eat here, and then after we'll go get chocolate cake or whatever it is for you." You know, because we had this one place that was basically like Greek food, but it was a street vendor, and it was freezing cold outside, but I needed that lamb gyro. So we ate these.
I think it's called the gyro.
It's a gyro.
Chiro.
And so we basically ate outside freezing. It was like 30 degrees and windy, but it
Eating
was worth
gelato.
every bite. And the kids, I just had to be like, hey, you can get whatever you want after this. Like, just let me have my minute.
Just don't make a scene.
My
Just
thing
don't
is,
make a
yeah,
scene.
yeah, just literally
Yeah.
don't make a scene. Couple more. Same one, Jeremy Cooper, Thailand. Dang, he's going hard. Rome, and then next Thailand for a week. Petting live tigers, beaches, Buddha temple, zip line course, bungee jumping. Oh, that's what he's saying. That's what
Oh, that's what you bribed him with.
or no, maybe that's just he just wanted to tell everybody that's where he went.
Yeah, that sounds like a sweet trip.
Yeah.
That's unreal. Brendan Smith, brown paper bags opened every 2 hours with dollar store toys in each one. 16-hour road trip success. That's
Ooh, I
actually
like
a great
that one.
idea.
Yeah.
Brendan Smith coming with the knowledge.
The dollar store they're still in that age where they don't recognize like that it's garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
they
they
don't.
just
It
still-
breaks in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't fly with diesel anymore. It's kind of like, hey, you either buy me this $100 Harry Potter
Oh, he
Lego, or
sees right through it.
I'm not cleaning my room.
He better not talk to my kids then because they're still.
I take back what I said about Coco being able to like him. I'm not giving it any more years, no more days.
Why? She'll be taken care of, man.
Yeah, that's true.
He knows.
Man's
he's got-
stable.
Yeah.
He's got good taste. Jage Melt, spend extra money for the bigger car, bigger hotel room, better travel times. I agree with this.
Yep. Absolutely.
Better airline. Like, I mean, yeah, Allegiant's cool, but when you're sitting in Provo Airport for 3 hours on a delay,
Yep.
no amount of money is worth it.
Nope. There's so many different factors that go into it. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like we always forget that there's something you're not supposed to bring when we go through security, and that holds it up.
Yeah, they're
And
like,
then-
sorry, you can't do Cheetos on this flight, remember?
Yeah, my kid brings
Cheetos.
a full bottle of Gatorade, and it's like there's always
Packs it
something
without
that's
you
like oh, and then it holds up. But like the timing of stuff and anything else that like makes that worse.
Yeah.
Not worth
Especially
it.
with like the extra hotel room, bigger car,
Yep.
the little things. Yeah, I think of it like anything that's going to piss me off while I'm traveling. Like if you can throw a little extra money at that and get rid of that stress
Yeah.
all day.
Allie's really good at she'll do the how that guy was talking about the dollar store.
Yes.
And she'll do I'm all about just here's all your stuff, but she does it in increments, so
Yeah.
it makes it way.
Yeah, just
way
pick
more-
something out of the bag.
Yeah,
That's how I
exactly.
do it.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
here's our. She's like, no, don't give them. Let's buy some
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Buy
So you
Gives
gotta-
ourselves
you
a
gotta save
chance.
these ones.
Yeah, save the this and this, and then that might give us another extra 30 minutes.
Nobody mentioned this, but like how annoying is when the kids have to go to the bathroom as soon as you get on the exit, get
Every
on the
time.
road, especially with road trips and like planes. Oh, how about this guy? Here's another story from last night.
Just the lavatory on the plane in general with the kid is just straight up awful.
Yeah, Coco, I let her go in on her own now. She knows all the tricks or whatever.
Yeah.
Coco, Nora, I'm still have to go in there and we barely fit. Which I don't know how people go with join the Mile High Club. Get real.
No,
Yeah.
that's fake.
Not happening.
Fake news.
Yeah, wake up. Anyways, there was a guy last night on the flight, so we were waiting for a gate. Like you land, you pull up, and you're like, oh, we gotta wait a couple minutes before the gate opens up, and we're gonna sit here, and we're at 0 altitude right now. And they tell you the whole thing. This guy gets up as we're waiting, so the pilot's like, yeah, we got 5 minutes.
Oh,
This dude gets up immediately. If you ever that's like the biggest crime you can commit on a
yeah,
plane.
they'll tackle you.
If you stand up while you're taxiing, people trip, which is funny because if you're standing up while you're going crazy turbulence, they don't really care.
Yeah.
You use your bathroom at your own risk, but if you're at 0, people trip. So this guy gets up. It's like college age kid, and we're sitting in the very back, so we're sitting right by the bathrooms. And he starts to walk back, and then I hear this lady just yell at him like, "Sir, you need to sit down." He's like, "No, I gotta go. I gotta go right now." And she's like, "No, you need to sit down." He's like, "I'm gonna pee my pants right here," and screaming. And I'm like, "Oh no, Coco has never been more stressed, dude." I look over and she was panicking, like, "What's going on? This is a showdown, And then he's like, "No, I'm gonna pee my pants right now. I need to go in." She's like, "Sir, you have to sit down." He's like, "Okay, you want me to pee right here? I'm gonna pee right on myself right now."
No.
And he's already all the way back to the bathroom, and she's yelling. She's like, "Hey, I'll call the captain right now and see if he wants to cancel that and go to another gate." And he's like, He's like, "Sit down." So she gets on. She's like, "Hey, we have someone down here that will not sit down. Can we go to another gate?"
On the intercom.
No, she says it
to the captain.
on the captain on her phone. And then the captain gets on immediately. He's like, "Everyone needs to sit in their seat." He pulls the trump card out. And then this dude literally has his ankles locked together like he's in a potato sack race. He grabs his hands on the seats and hops back like he's in a potato sack race.
Like he just can't let go.
Like he's paralyzed. Yeah. It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Hops back to his seat. Everybody's staring at him at this point. Every human is staring at him at this
just
point.
clenched between his legs.
Yeah,
can't let it
clenched,
go.
ankles,
not real,
legs
dude.
twisted, hopping back, not even hobbling. Coco's never been redder. She's so stressed for the situation. She's
Breathing into a paper
Yeah,
bag.
literally.
Just
She's
like, "Oh,
stunned.
no."
She cannot fathom. And anyways, the guy sits. 2 seconds later, we're moving. We park. Everybody stands up and down.
Doesn't let him out.
Yeah, the dude had to swim his way back to the thing.
taking their bags down.
It was too good. Oh, I was crying laughing. I'm like, this guy's done. But I honestly, when he said, "I'm going to pee right here," his junk was 3 feet from my face. So I was kind of nervous because he was standing right next to me. I was in the aisle. Anyways, that part was scary.
Traveling with older kids is actually not bad. They got their iPad, they got their headphones.
Yeah.
It's traveling with babies that is just.
Oh yeah, that's hell on earth.
I think it's just because there's so much more stuff. It's like about
It's
diaper
more,
bag.
way
it's
more
the-
stuff.
CJ
Guaranteed blowout within 10
yeah.
minutes of the
Yeah.
flight taking off.
CJ Hunter and his wife Audrey. They live in Spain. They came and visited. They live here, right?
Yeah.
And they came back here from Madrid. This was like 4 weeks ago. And their kid, before they even started taking off, that 10-hour flight, puking. Their 2-year-old.
No.
Every time.
Puking. They said they lost count at like 15.
So what, are they
Puked
just
the entire flight back.
with those like throw it bags that they have in the back?
Yeah,
seat?
I mean,
Like,
they
they're
used
just-
those for the first couple, and then they just went through like tons and tons of blankets. They were just puking into blankets.
Oh.
She said they'd bring him the kid water, and then it'd be puke. Like,
Two-
can you
2
fathom
minutes
dude,
later.
10,
No.
10 hours of that?
You just open the exit door and
That's straight.
jump
Yeah,
out.
yeah, especially those long.
Yeah, it's like
Give me the
10
parachute.
hours.
Yeah,
It's one thing on a road trip where you can like pull over and like
take a minute.
Stop
yeah.
off at a
yeah,
gas
get it.
station.
When you're stuck in
Yeah.
that aluminum tube,
Oh.
that's that tuna can in the sky. That's wild. All right, a couple more of these ones. Make sure to have Tyler Gardner. Actually, we'll do it. Yeah, Tyler Gardner. Make sure to have on hand those throw up bags you can get from the hospital. Speaking of throw up, Adam Jacobs. Decide right now you don't give a f what others travelers think about you, which is also true. But also, I can't do it. I try as hard as I can, but I care way too much.
yeah, I'm like worried
I
like
get
if
so
we're going
embarrassed.
slow.
Yeah.
And I'm
Just
like,
put your hand over their mouth. Just be
Oh,
quiet.
dude, yeah. You muzzle them. You got to put on that skin muscle.
that's what Dom does to you.
Oh yeah. Every night actually.
Yeah.
She's like, stop, I'm on. Hildoria, iPad and headphones forever.
Yeah.
This is probably the best advice here. Chase Nelson, pack 1,000 snacks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Backpack full. That's literally my entire carry-on is just snacks in my backpack. Unlimited
You just
supply.
got to make sure that it's like non-GMO, just very healthy snacks all the time.
So they're not puking.
Yeah, not puking, and then like somebody doesn't get mad at you for just feeding them like unhealthy snacks like chips and
Yeah.
Cheetos.
Yeah. I don't care about that. But
No, dude,
also,
I'm all about
I do
the
care about my kids
extra
throwing up.
GMO.
Just more.
All the GMO.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
you make
GMO.
sure it
All
says
GMOs.
Some, like extra strength, extra GMO.
Yeah.
That's
That's like having those are like the 300 milligram energy drinks only for kids.
yeah.
And the
Extra GMO.
Extra GMO.
Yeah, no. Usually when the stewardess walks down, she asks our aisle like, "Hey, what do you guys want to drink?" And Diesel will just like pipe up real quick. Hey, I'll have a Dr Pepper. I'm like, no, sorry,
Hell no, kid.
that's too bad.
Oh yeah, that's so. My biggest travel advice is, if you're on a plane, you don't let your kids get drinks from the freaking people.
No.
You buy them water bottles before
Yep.
you get on. The most stressful thing you'll ever do is watch your kids spill one of those cups full of soda.
It's guaranteed on that slick
Doesn't matter what
little
it is.
tray.
That little tray that's
Yeah.
just hockey
It's
pucks.
yeah.
Air hockey or whatever. It's just air hockey.
Just the air blown up.
Yeah.
from the tray
Literally,
table.
it's the worst thing ever. Anyway, so that's the spiel on travel. So let's move on to the next thing. This happened this week, and this is why I brought it up. So worst best part of parent teacher conference. So this is the time of year everyone has them. We just did ours last week.
Same.
How out, dude? I'm not a huge fan.
Oh, just the whole interaction with the teacher too is just so awkward.
Yeah, you guys go every time, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Josh Grove over here just says wife goes.
Dude,
That's a solid advice though.
Just straight up, nah. I don't know. I just feel super awkward.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get out of there as fast as possible.
Yeah, here's their test scores. Yeah, he's a great student. Yeah, okay. Let's just
They
get through
always,
this thing.
yeah, and they're always running late. They've
Yep.
never once been on time.
You gotta sign up for the first available time slot. That's the key.
Isn't the first one like during work though? Is it like at 4:00?
Yeah, it's 4:00. Just
You're on that.
bounce.
Yeah, that's true. You're on that R&R
there's no way
schedule.
you're on time for that.
Yeah, Jordan's never been on
Mountain Standard Jordan time.
time. We
Yeah.
thought we've been waiting for an hour and a half to start this podcast.
I've been here for 16 hours, dude.
You flew in at
I
9
flew in at
a.m.
9 a.m.
Flight literally landed at 7:45.
Yeah. It's actually a miracle that you're here and it all, so I'm grateful for you.
I'm grateful too.
Oh, thank
Me
you.
and Nate got really close.
thank
all
you for
day.
that. Yeah, they're always behind schedule. Trevor took best feeling like. Oh, he's saying so. The best thing is feeling like a private investigator, or worse, they're always behind schedule.
Yep.
It is kind of funny. They're just sitting there telling you everything about your kid, their personality, this is the boys they talk to. This is who they like. You know, they kind of like,
Who they're from.
you
Like,
kind of feel guilty. You're like hearing all this stuff about him.
you act like you already knew all that.
Yeah. You're like, oh yeah, she talks
No,
about
Michael.
Cindy all the
yeah.
time, you know. And you're like, I don't know that you go out.
Why didn't you tell me about this?
Yeah, and my wife knows all the kids' names. Like, oh yeah, she plays every day with
I
her.
told you about him.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that's such a dad thing, not knowing any of your kids' friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad would just call them all the same name. Is this a chance? No.
Just hey, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, buddy.
Bud, how
buddy.
are ya?
Buckaroo.
Good to see you again.
Oh, I have so many
pal.
friends' dads who say my wrong name all the time, or they'll call me one of my brothers because I have 4,000 brothers.
Yeah.
I just get Flake last name. Like that's a pretty good bet.
Yeah. The best part about parent teacher conference is like interrogating your kid before it happens. Am I going to get a good report today?
Oh yeah, that's good.
Oh yeah, you will. Are you sure? Because if you don't,
Even though they know they're not.
You
they're
want
just like,
to tell me before you go in?
yeah, exactly.
Because I know she's going to tell me that anything, and then they just start spilling it.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. I should do that next time.
Deez is
that's
such
a
a good
good
kid.
idea.
I just try to scare him. You know, like I'm not being serious. I'm just like, oh really? Because if I get one bad thing, there's no Nintendo Switch for a week.
Yeah,
Bro.
it's the worst punishment possible.
You'll sleep in till 8 every day. No games.
That's unreal.
I had the impromptu.
Oh, you need to tell me this story.
This is the
story
worst
insane.
story ever.
The story is
This
unreal.
is like, my chest gets tight just thinking about this story.
Choking.
So I take Capri and Winnie to school most mornings.
Yeah.
So I'll take like Winnie and then drop her off, come back and get Capri.
Capri's the younger one.
Capri's Winnie is she'll be 7 and then Capri is 4. They go to 2 separate schools, but so I'm taking Capri and Capri is like the fireball. of the
Yeah.
family. She's in her own world.
Capri's unreal.
She's got the best like one-liner jabs. And she's like you meet her and you're like, you know.
Yeah.
But
You know.
she's got no filter. But she's at school I'm taking her in, walk her to the door, and you sign her in, that whole thing. And I'm starting to
showing
walk.
up late.
Well, no. Never late. Never late. But so I usually do the sign in, you know, the hug, and she goes, you know, love you, kiss, bye. She goes on her way. But as I'm walking away, you know, I hear Mr. Jones, can I speak to you real quick for a second?
So this is a regular day at school.
regular day.
Yeah.
It's just like
Tuesday morning.
Yep. I'm dropping her off. Oh yeah, Mr. Jones, can I talk to you for a second? And immediately it felt like I'm
She
in
sounds
trouble.
So old, first of all, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, I'm like, what? I didn't even answer the first time. She said it twice.
Jones and me.
The Counting Crows.
Oh yeah.
But so I turned around. And she's like, yeah. Can I talk to you real quick? We had Capri the other day. First off, she's great. We love her. And I'm like, immediately, it's like,
She's got to
Oh,
come
no.
out banger.
Oh,
Throw in the
no.
positive comment first.
I know where this is going. And she's like, yeah, so I was with her the other day, and she's like, my dad has a gun, and my sister said she's gonna bring it and shoot me. And I'm just like looking at her like, oh my gosh. Like, and Capri's like 10 feet away from me. She's in that
She's, like,
she knows
peeking
what's
around the
going
corner.
on. She's like staring over her glasses at me like
Yeah.
like with a little
Kids
smirk,
do
like
that, dude. The old grandma thing
they
over
know.
the glasses.
Oh, yeah, they know. She knows, and I'm looking at her like, oh my gosh. And it's good for her because she's getting dropped off at school. I don't even get the drive home, like talk with her. But I'm like, I'm so sorry. I don't know where she would even get that. You know, they pretend like all the time. Like this is literally all they want to do is play pretend. And I'm sure it's just like they take it. They don't know. They don't never know when to stop. It's like, oh, you did this, and oh, she did this.
Yeah.
And so I'm like explaining to her. I'm like, I'll talk with her and her sister. I have no idea.
You're so
I don't know where to like. I'm so embarrassed. But I'm like apologizing. But I'm like I'm apologizing for a made up story.
Yeah.
So I'm like I'm trying to make it sound like, you know, we're not at home like, oh yeah, you
Yeah, shoot
you
that
got your
boy.
first shoot that target down there. And she's 4 years old.
That's all Queen Creek, bro.
Yeah, down in the creek. So
That's
so stressed. I come home, I'm like, I'm never taking her to school again. I can never see her teacher again. But we sit them down, and you know, I'm like,
Trying to be all serious.
Winnie was like almost the verge of tears, even though she didn't do anything wrong. And Capri's just smirking just the whole time I'm telling him, like, we don't joke about guns like that, blah, blah, blah. She just, yeah. So impromptu are now my least favorite conferences.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
awful. I've never, knock on wood, dude,
Yeah,
I've never had
luckily.
that. That's wild. That's too good.
I'm sure that's one of many.
That reminds me of so like at the school you go around. Just last week we did this after the conference. Like you walk out and see their artwork in the hall or whatever. It's always so sad to see the ones. It's like sad / funny to see the ones that's like. My biggest wish is like one of them I saw and a second grader was like, my dad stops hurting me.
No,
And I'm like, the kid has to be
that was for sure an impromptu.
either getting beaten. Like, first of all, you're the teacher. You see that. Don't hang it up in the hall.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What?
So it's either
That's like put it in my filing
He
cabinet
thinks-
and talk to the person.
yeah, or call like cops or
CPS.
something. But like, you also don't know. Like, it may just be like hurting me. Like maybe they wrestle and he tickles them. Like, Dad, you're hurting me. You know, and so maybe like he wrote that. And then the teacher's like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, we tickle. He's like, okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
that's when the teacher, like with her pen, he writes in parentheses,
cross
like
it out.
wrestling.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, tickles or something.
Yeah.
That's too. You always see those. Are like, oh, how sad is that?
Or maybe she just didn't notice it.
Yeah, or like the ones are like, I wish I, like I wish or whatever it is, and then they fill it in. It's like,
Yeah.
I could have a.
I wish my
family
dad had
again
time
or
for me.
something. Yeah, my dad would ever play with me.
Yeah.
Or like my mom would get off her phone or something sad as crap, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, what if you're
How-
that parent and you're
Yeah,
like,
teacher obviously doesn't read any of them, just hangs them up on the wall.
you think she's just dying laughing at the end? She's like, I'm
Yeah.
going to go show everyone their artwork. She's like,
Yeah.
I can't wait till the Joneses come. And they're
Can't wait till the jump.
to show them.
Just roast them. My sister-in-law's a teacher, Kyson's wife. He was on the podcast earlier, but she always has gnarly stories about
My
that.
mom's taught preschool for,
Oh yeah, they taught our girls.
I don't even know, like 15. Oh, yeah, she taught your
That's
girls.
the age the kids want to just throw up everything. They just want to.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they're all over. But
They
she's
just
got like
repeat everything
She's
they've
got
ever
like a
said.
book of like the funniest things that kids have said.
Oh,
They're
I'm
just-
sure it's the greatest book ever.
That
Yeah.
age is like the worst. They don't have context to anything they say either.
And they all, my mom said, and oh, they throw you under the bus for sure at school.
That's unreal. A couple more of these. Chad 808. As a kid, so he's saying as a kid, not going to school is the best. Remember when they used to do that? They used to like take a half day of school off.
Yep.
They'd do parent teacher conference during school,
Like teacher in service day or whatever.
which I don't remember my dad. I think my mom just went to those. My dad was like working or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom only went to one. I think.
And then as a parent, nothing. It's all bad. He said that's funny. Long Lunk Lawyer, another comment. He said, I have no experience, but as a kid who was disruptive, give your parents a heads
Yep.
up. So before they go in, like try to get ahead of it. Like they may tell you about this one story, but let me give you my side before
Manage expectations.
Seriously. Jeremy Cooper says ours are student led, which is great, but worst is seeing struggles you can't help with. That's sad.
Yep.
Speaking of sad, let's go into the next subject.
Oof.
So this is the bullying one. So we'll probably do more. We might just do an episode dedicated strictly to this and like bring on somebody who actually knows what they're talking about.
Bring on somebody who's bullied.
Who like just bring on all the people we bullied in high school. Just kidding. So
I can think of a couple names, but
yeah, so we'll hit a couple of these. Coming back to Long Lunk Lawyer again. So he's saying first, don't be a bully. No need for that shit. Second, if your kid is being bullied, teach them to stand up for themselves and others and hit back. We were talking about this earlier. I was with you, right? Today?
Yeah.
So I think it depends on like the hitting back thing. Like I don't know. I guess I just like when the kids are in elementary school. Like no, they can't really do any damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's that big of a deal.
That's
to,
kind of
like,
a lesson to be taught
teach them
when
to
they
like
turn-
be
when they turn
physical back
13.
if someone's physical back with them. They can't like hurt anybody that bad. If it's a girl, I think you need to teach your kids to like defend themselves enough to like get away from people.
It's
I
a
guess.
self-defense for like breaking away or like
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
you-
Like
and then
classes.
like you also don't want that happy medium of them like not being the tattletale kid and stuff too, because that's what they're immediately thinking when they
Yep.
get bullied. Is they're like, I'm gonna get
yeah, I need to go tell my teacher this.
yeah.
Yeah, so the question is, how do you deal with kids getting bullied? And so, like, from both sides, so like Bob Jones 2323, get to know the teachers. They'll look out for your kid and maybe expel the bully for you.
Yep.
Yeah, I think like I mean, bullying's such a big deal now too.
One-
that I
one
think even
thing-
like the hint of it, and they're gonzo.
I forget who told us to do this, but like we like do like role play stuff about it. Like we'll go over like
This
if
isn't
this
that
guy.
kind of podcast, dude.
This isn't.
No, I'm just kidding.
Is it the next
Oh,
room
you're
over?
talking about
Next room over.
You guys do role plays?
So we'll like
Continue.
go over. I knew your ears would perk up, and I could see them perk up
Just
through
on
the
my
headphones.
phone over here. I'm like, what'd you say?
Huh? But we'll go over like, yeah, if this kid says this to you, how are you going to respond? Like we'll do that, like that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is like them getting to tell you that they are, because I feel like a lot of kids that are bullied
Yeah.
like won't do it. So
Yeah. Every movie you ever seen.
I've been trying to do like we do like date night stuff with the girls, and growing up, my mom and my dad would do stuff like one-on-one and stuff. I think
Yeah,
that-
you take one of the kids out. Yeah.
I think that's a big thing, and like them, like when you're doing some activity like that, they'll be more willing to kind of tell you what's going on and talk
Yeah.
about it.
No, for sure.
Yeah, my kids don't. Like, I don't really know my kids that well.
Shut up. Yes, you do.
No. I mean, I know my
like-
kids, but they would never. I don't know. Like, I don't think the girls would like tell me if they had like a
You said
crush on a boy.
Oh
Which
yeah, my
means I
girls
need
won't
to
tell
like
me
change
that.
my life. I need to like figure it out.
The girls
probably.
tell Allie about that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Then, which
Which I feel they wouldn't tell me they're getting bullied though. Same way,
you don't think they would?
Yeah.
Well, it seems like every kid has like an at-home personality and an at-school personality.
That's
Yeah,
just
that's
life though.
true,
I
yeah.
mean, we have an at-home personality
Yeah,
and an at-work personality, right?
for sure.
Where you can't be the
And a
same.
role play personality.
And then you have a
Yeah.
role play. My role
Well,
play is an
that's
at-work
many.
personality, bro. I just pick it's easier. Depends on the night. But I think that like we were talking about the classes. There's a girl in Coco's class there's a boy in Coco's class that like she was telling me that runs around. She's like, yeah, I can't remember the kid's name. So he runs around on the playground and he's like, yeah, he'll push the girls up against the slide and kiss them on their lips. And I'm like, has he ever tried that with you? And he's like, no, he tried last recess. I ran away. I said, if he ever does that, you literally punch him in the face as hard as you can.
Yeah.
I said, and then tell me who it is. I'm going to go like talk to the teacher. That's out,
Yeah.
This kid's headed for juvie.
Allie does really good where she like makes it for them if that situation happens, that it's
Yeah.
not like their fault or they're like
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
they're
that
gonna
you-
get
they're
in
not gonna be in
trouble.
trouble, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, no, like it's fine if he does that. Like if he ever does that to you, like let me know.
Because I'm the same way. I'm like,
Instant.
you just shoot him in with the gun and run. But no, Allie's like way more tactful about like that's I just go by-
Level-headed.
Yeah, level-headed. I don't know where
Yeah.
they get it, like why they would even talk about that stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, we need to, but they need to like take a class or something.
I'd be interested. I feel like it's like, especially with boys, like not having boys. Like I don't know.
Yeah, we're just doing for the girls. Is Diesel have any crazy stories?
There was one
Bullying or being the bully?
like how they always have like the Halloween parades at every school, right?
yeah.
So Diesel had like told me about this kid that was like classic bully, right? Like if you remember the show Recess, like the big fat
Oh,
kid with
yeah.
the blonde hair.
Yeah.
So this is how he
The
describes him.
overweight kid.
Yep.
Just kidding. The larger,
Plus size.
oh, the big bone.
The
kid.
plus size kid.
So we're watching this Halloween parade, and Diesel was like Kylo Ren at the time or whatever. This kid, like I was watching him like pull his mask off, and Diesel's like turning around, trying to figure
Yeah.
out what's going on, and I knew this was the kid. And,
Older kid. He's older too.
no, same grade, but
Just
he's
massive.
like just massive, right?
Yeah.
But like in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna go beat the shit out of this
Yeah,
kid.
yeah.
I'm
So
watching
pissed.
it live.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No.
You
it's-
look over there, Dad's
Yeah.
twice the size of you. It beats the shit out of you. Way too
Jordan,
short.
I was gonna do something.
I saw
I
it
looked
once.
over.
Yeah.
I looked at him.
Then I
And I
told
thought
him
Diesel can
I
handle
did
it.
the thing where I did my eyes and I put
Yeah.
my two hands on my eyes and I put my two hands over here, but he saw me see it.
But it wasn't like a personal thing to Diesel. I think he was like terrorizing the whole class.
It's
Yeah.
just you more as the parent, or just
Yeah.
like so more.
Yeah, no.
so
So
much
you see something like that, like live
Yeah.
and in person, you just like want to go out there. I mean, kid's 5 years old, but I was ready to take him to the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think there's maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like at least growing up as a boy and still being a boy and having all brothers, no sisters.
Yeah.
I was just like, it was a different time. But it was like I would never tell my parents I was getting bullied.
No.
No.
Because like I can't remember. I think I got in a fight once with like Alex Hesterly about a gingerbread thing, but I was the one bullying him on the bus. Like I'm not bullying him, but like we were
You
in
didn't
an
tell your
argument or
parents that
something,
you're
and I
bullied.
think I crushed his gingerbread house, and then he punched me in the face, and then I started crying. I got off the bus.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah, and we lived in the same neighborhood, obviously,
Yeah.
and then his mom called. He called me with his mom on the line and my mom on the line, and it was the most awkward thing ever.
The landline.
That was
phone.
like the closest, the landline. Just every phone in the house was picked up. That was like the closest thing I ever got to like being bullied or bullying someone, I guess. But I feel like with boys, it's more just like, yeah, deal with it, you know.
Yeah.
And so maybe now it's changed now that we realize there's like long-term mental
The mental
effects
side.
of that. But like I feel like girls, you can't, I don't know. Maybe is that how you feel or?
Yeah, I mean, I think like Diesel, like in kindergarten, it kind of like hurt his feelings, right? But he knew it was
Yeah.
happening to everybody in the class.
Yeah.
But there was like maybe 2 months ago, he like shows up. He's like, Dad, like he was like laughing about it, right? He hops in my car and he's like, Dad, you'll never believe what happened at recess today. Like, playing with this girl, we're all playing like freeze tag or something. And she looks over at me and she's like, stop being a little bitch. And I'm like,
The girl
what?
said that to you?
Yeah. I'm like, how
In
old
kindergarten?
is she? Yeah, no, he's in second
This is
grade
recently.
now.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, what? That's incredible. He just starts laughing. I mean, he said the word, but I was like, well, I probably shouldn't say that.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
don't
what,
say that.
bitch?
It's like, why, Dad? You say it all the time.
You call me that all
Yeah.
the time, Daddy. She uses your line against me.
I don't. I
But yeah, I mean, I just feel like now it's like it doesn't really affect him at all.
I don't think you can interfere at all. That's what sucks. It's like
what am I
Yeah,
gonna
you don't
do?
want to be the dad that
Yeah.
comes and says like, you're going to ruin the
I-
kids socially if you do that.
Yeah.
like
You don't want to be the one that goes to the teacher and then the teacher gets to get in trouble because you're like, there's no good answer.
Yeah, I've heard there's been foul language on the playground.
Yeah, there you're gonna, and even in high school though, like in the elementary age, it's like all like the rhyming name calling, like doo-doo head, that kind of stuff.
yeah.
But when you're older and like in high school, that's when it's like you definitely aren't gonna tell
No.
your parents.
Oh,
when
yeah.
that stuff's going on.
Oh, 0%. Yeah. A couple people here, a couple more answers, like Jeremy Cooper again. Let them know you have their back. 'Cause that's I like that.
Yeah, that's
and let
good.
them,
Sure.
and then let them see you have an intense talk with the teacher. Maybe you just tell the teacher, "Hey, I'm having an intense talk with you. Act like we're having an intense talk."
Yeah. Hey, look, throw your hands up in the air.
Give me your fantasy picks.
Yeah.
Is that a sports thing?
Sports.
Is that in sports?
We're gonna talk sports.
Is that
Yeah.
the other room after the role play room?
Yeah, that's after the role play. Nate Newman, suck it up and fight back. Erica Smith, tough one, making sure they feel loved and understood at home. Yeah, that's true. Like making them feel like they can come to you about stuff is like the whole goal of.
I don't necessarily think that them getting bullied's the worst thing in the world. Like as long as it's not like every day and they are like
Yeah.
like it's good for them to see that conflict and how to resolve it and the best way to talk with them about it. But yeah, I think if we try to, which our natural instinct is to like, nobody's going to talk to my kid like that. Nobody's
Yeah.
going to do that. But
Yeah, they have to get like that's life.
Yeah.
It's going to be work. It's going to be college. It's going to be their whole life. They got to learn how to deal with people being idiots.
No, for sure. No, I think like obviously my parenting relationship is a little bit different than you guys. Is Diesel's only with me half the time, right? So
Yeah.
anytime I have a chance with him in the car to be like, hey, like you just got to be honest with me, like whatever it may be, like I'm on your side. I'm your best friend, and so
Yeah.
I think if they understand that, then they're going to be more honest when things actually happen and come up later in life.
Yeah, I agree with that. Jackie Loser. So she said, with our last names, their last name is spelled Loser. So this is Jackie, and then like Cam, right?
Yep.
So with our last name, it's a perfect opportunity to teach our young kids the importance of not giving to, and then she did little shit emojis, 2 of them, and then she did 2 of them, so that's like 4. About what other kids say. You think young kids don't have filters or common sense when it comes to how they should say things, so we've had to teach our oldest about how words can hurt people. But in return, we can't be so sensitive, like we were saying, to other people's ignorant or oblivious comments. Just shake off the small things like immature comments, thoughts about the spelling of our last name.
that's a good point. I like when she was talking about teaching them about it, because nobody ever thinks that their kid is the bully.
Yeah.
Like you're never like,
everyone's
you're
in
always
denial.
like, oh, my angel would never do that. But if you're teaching, like, I'm guilty of it too, but if you're teaching them like why we don't
Yeah.
bully, I like that.
Yep.
Lindsay Morgan. And your response. So here's another thing. And your responsibilities. It freaking irks me. Kids are little assholes these days. We tell our boys they can't start it, but they can finish it. My parents said that all the time.
Yeah,
I was like, just takes one punch for a kid to stop picking on them. We also tell them to stand up for others. They won't ever be in trouble if that's the case. I swear kids don't even get in trouble these days. Back in the day, we would have been beat by Dr. Watson with a wooden spoon. Remember her?
I don't remember her.
It's our elementary school teacher.
What year did you go
principal.
to school? It's like the 50s, the wooden spoon.
No, I don't think we'd actually get beat with a wooden spoon, but she was wild. She was freaking strict.
Who is it?
Dr. Watson.
I don't remember.
Who's the principal?
Oh, that's who it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was only there for a short time.
Yeah, you came in the tail end there. You probably didn't even get acquainted with her. Yeah, so Lindsay has all boys too. So I think, I don't know, there's kind of a fine balance. Then we missed a couple comments on, we'll read this one from Sardoni on the parent-teacher conference, and we'll wrap it up. So he says, worst part is when, talking about parent-teacher conference, worst part is when the teacher asks if you have any questions, but everything she said is 100. She just said is 100% clear. So you have to feel like you're on the spot and have to come up with a question just so it doesn't look like you're uninterested in your child's well-being and education. That's 100%. I hate that. Do you have any questions?
That's why it's awkward.
It's out and it's done in
What
7
should they do
minutes.
for the SAT prep course?
She's like, oh, that's in 12 years.
Oh, okay.
How are they doing
Other than
with
that,
their
yeah.
hand painting?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, our teacher said, what'd she say? Coco's teacher was like, because it was like we were leaving in New York the next day for like 2 or 3 days. And she's like, so, she said like, why do you guys travel or something? She's like, so why do you guys like to travel? It was the weirdest question. I'm like, just, we like to travel. It was way
We like
awkward.
spending time with our family.
Yeah, it was so
There's
weird.
different experiences outside of Utah.
Yeah, it was like the weirdest thing, and I think she was kind of irked that we like have been taking the kids out of school a lot, even though we haven't really. But yeah, I agree. That is one at the very end. Do you have any questions? You're like, no, I just want to. I need to get out of here. I got a babysitter coming in 20. So, and then he says the best part is when you hear they are doing good overall and really excelling in some areas with only minor deficiencies or things that could improve.
No,
Yeah, that's good. We've had, our girls are doing fine, I guess, but parent-teacher conference is rough. Maybe I'll just do what Josh does and just send the wife or whatever. That's wild.
I don't know if maybe times have changed. I don't remember, I guess both my parents went, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't ever remember.
No, I
my dad
remember
going.
we had to sit there. I don't
Oh,
ever
yeah,
remember
yeah.
my parents going and me just sitting in the hallway.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
That was
how
the
it
other
was.
thing. Mine, they don't sit there for hours, but yeah, I had to sit right there. And you're
In the
like
middle, dude.
You get the side
roasted.
glances the whole time, and
Yeah, and then the teacher. I remember just
the
thinking
smug.
like, oh, you couldn't say that to my
yeah.
face. You
Why didn't
piece
we
of
talk
crap.
about this before? Yeah, talk to me man to man.
Yeah. Or like, why didn't you
Yeah.
bring that up before?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
told me I was doing great yesterday,
Yeah.
Cindy. You
Yeah,
know?
Cindy, I haven't got my name written on the board once this week, and you're gonna bring that up?
And then you're gonna roast me.
Yeah,
Yeah. We had our.
we'll talk after this.
Yeah, it's too bugged. I just remember that was the worst. And the only reason you go to when you're a kid, the only reason you want to even go to this thing is for the book fair, anyways.
Yo, yeah, we're
Right.
the Goosebumps books and the
pencils,
sticky hands,
the squiggly pencils.
Yeah,
What were those pencils called? Remember those?
the ones that you twirl around, and
Yikes.
they're like, oh yeah,
Yikes
yeah.
pencils.
I forgot about those.
They had They were like engraved different textures and.
We had those things where
Designs.
you pop in and you set them down, and they like shoot and take your eye out.
Yeah. And then no kid wants to buy any book in the book fair.
No.
It's always just like the expensive gadgets.
They know that.
Or
They know that,
$25 plus. Like, and $1 for an eraser that
I feel like there's nothing under $20.
doesn't
No,
even fit
there's
on
not.
any size pencil. It's $15.
Now, Diesel's the opposite. He'll go to the book fair and he picks out like 30 books.
Yeah.
Like last week for his birthday, I said, "Hey, buddy, what do you want for your birthday?" I just want like a huge bag of bookmarks.
Oh, just the best kid ever.
Yeah.
Of bookmarks?
bookmarks. I
Not
was
even
like-
books.
I was like, "So you don't want like anything cool, like what
A $100 Lego set. we were
Wow, what
talking
a
about earlier.
freaking baller, man. That's like,
He's like, "Nah." He's like, "I got everything I need. I'll just take the bookmarks."
Yeah, that was
"All
like
right."
Coco. Yeah, I asked her what she wanted for her birthday, and she said, "I just want to donate everything to the Mother Teresa Fund."
oh, wow.
No,
She wanted to do service, feed the homeless.
I'm trying to one up. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to one up Diesel.
God, I will say, Winnie, like she does like her own like goals for the year.
Yeah.
This is how she's going places.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to maybe we can keep the last name Jones when she gets married. Just so it's like, but she's like, she wakes up at 7 a.m. to practice reading.
Oh, I remember you told me that. That's wild.
Yeah, and she'll come in and wake me up.
And she has her own alarm, huh? She sets
She has her own alarm clock.
Can you fathom waking up before school as
No,
a kid?
never.
Oh, my kids, you're dragging them.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, no.
I remember my mom having to come in 5, 6, 7 times to wake me up.
Yeah, blankets off,
Yep.
lights on.
Yep.
It's like it progressively gets harder and harder, and then
No, Diesel's the worst. He wakes up at 6:45. I mean, we got like this TV that's got one remote, right? So a universal remote.
Yeah.
You gotta. It's like putting together like a puzzle
Yeah.
to get the TV on.
yeah, there's
So
nothing
he goes down there. He's got everything working, the sound bar. He's got Netflix rolling.
He's got Andrew Bocelli
Yeah, oh, yeah.
pumping in the morning. Just
So,
trying to
his
say
own
goodbye
podcast.
in the morning.
Now I've made these rules like, hey,
So fun.
The Daily Diesel.
Yeah. Oh, that's beast.
I'm gonna copyright that.
so now we set these rules like, hey, you can't go downstairs until 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we recently got like an indoor camera downstairs in our family room,
Yeah.
mainly to watch our dog when we go out of town and whatnot.
Good to know. Good to know next time.
Yeah,
I
that
will.
is good.
Yeah. So, like 2 weeks ago, we got it. Anyways, first morning he comes downstairs, and I was like, "Hey, just so you know, you're not getting up until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning."
Yeah.
So it's like 7:15. I get this notification. There's motion in the family room. And so I see him come downstairs. He sees the camera, goes back up, right? And then like 2 minutes later, he's got this big blanket. He walks down and he takes it straight to the camera while he's
Just
blocking the whole
jailbreak.
thing and just throws it over. And
He took a chapter out of the Jordan Stephens sneaking back in at night.
yeah, oh yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't see it until like 45 minutes after. So like I pull up the cameras and it's like pitch black. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
You thought it
here?
was broken?
So like I rewind it and I see him. I see this whole scenario.
unreal. You need to save that
Oh
video.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
It's just if he just sticks a picture of himself drawn onto the camera.
The room,
Just frozen image.
his school picture from the yearbook.
That's unreal. That's too good. Alrighty. Any other thoughts or last words of wisdom?
Are you in the conference again? Any more questions? No, I
No.
feel pressured to
No.
bring up
Yeah, any
something.
last questions? You guys aren't interested.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming, fellas.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's been fun. Thanks for coming all the way from amazing
I got
Arizona
3 more
weather
days here.
to come to this freezing cold weather.
Yeah, I don't know how
Oh, you
guys
didn't
do
just
it.
come up for this podcast, dude?
Yeah, that hurts my feelings.
Well,
Come on,
originally.
bro.
Well, now that I know you guys run by like the PM and not
the seat of
the
our
AM.
That's unreal. All right, fellas. Have a good one. Thanks for being on.
Hey, thank you.
We'll see you
Thanks,
guys
man.
next week. Let's make sure everyone comment and subscribe to this thing. Share it with your peeps. Share it with the other dads that are struggling at parent teacher
Oh,
conference.
yeah, dude. All of them.
All right, take it easy.